Hi everyone, this is Tiffany with Raising House and Home, and today I'm just going to share with you how I made my son's birthday cake. He turned 8 years old this week, and he asked for a Minecraft cake. And usually we will get it from the grocery store and just have like a picture or the decorations that they put on it. But sometimes they want me to make one on my own. I've made SpongeBob, I've made all different types. I'm not very good at it, but for some reason they keep having more faith in me than I do in myself. So I wanted to share with you how I made this easy cake that my son just loved. It was inexpensive and it really didn't take that much time at all. There was, 4 different parts to it, but they were all relatively easy to make. And it was really fun to put it together and to see his face when he saw it the next morning. So I'm going to share with you some of my footage and what it looks like at the end. So here I'm just melting the butter so that we can add the marshmallows for the Rice Krispie treats. And you want to melt it over about medium heat. And the Rice Krispie treats are going to be our sand blocks for the cake. So then you just put in a whole bag of marshmallows. I choose the mini marshmallows, but you can use the bigger ones if you want to. These just melt quicker without like any chance of burning or scalding the marshmallows as they melt. And you're going to do this over about low to medium heat. And then once it all melts into that gooey goodness, you're going to put about 6 cups of the Rice Krispies in there. And you can use the Great Value brand, which I did. The butter and everything was from the Great Value brand. It's much cheaper. And so you're going to mix it off the burner, and then you're just going to spread it out into a buttered 9x13 dish. And this is just how you make Rice Krispie treats. Super easy, and they cut into squares really well, even though for some reason I did a very bad job cutting squares for this cake. I didn't realize how difficult it was. I kept ending up with rectangles. But anyway, so you're just going to smooth it out and let it sit until it gets, not so gooey. And then this is our cake mix. I made it from scratch, but you can make it from your recipe or from a box. It doesn't matter. I definitely use chocolate because you want it to look like dirt. So the darker chocolate, the better. And here I'm going to use just one of the small boxes of Jell-O blue raspberry gelatin. And I looked for the Walmart brand or the Great Value brand of the blue, but it seemed like they just had more of the common flavors, like the orange and green. So I did buy the Jell-O brand. And then I added a cup of hot water, like boiling water, to this. You don't want to follow the recipe on the box. You want to do the Jell-O Jiggler recipe, which makes it so it's way more firm and easier to work with because you need to cut it into squares that are going to stay together. So I just used the 1 cup of boiling water, and then you whisk it together. And make sure that you whisk it until it's melted, like all of the powdery stuff is melted and incorporated into the water. And it's okay if it bubbles up, like the bubbles won't stay in the Jell-O. It will definitely go all smooth. And you can see that almost all of the stuff is melted in there. And so now I'm going to pour it into a bread pan. There was not enough in that package to do like a 9x13 or a bowl or anything, and you need it to be square. So definitely use a bread pan. And then I'm just working on the homemade frosting here, and I'm adding the green dye, and then I added the green dye to the coconut. So this is just flaked, sweetened, like baking coconut. And you just add as much as you can, stir it, and you'll be surprised how quickly it spreads because this sweetened coconut is just a little bit wet, so it will seep in pretty good. And you want it to be kind of a darker green because it's going to be more for the grass, as you'll see here. So I did record me making this and putting it together, but it did not save for some reason. So I'm just going to have to give you a description on how I did this. So the base of this is just a sheet of just a chocolate cake, so just a 9x13. And then I kind of cut out a little jagged edge line, as you can see, kind of in the middle, and that's where I put the Jell-O. So you cut the Jell-O squares, and I put the Jell-O up against the cake, and then you cut the squares, and you have the Rice Krispie treats, which is the sand. And then after you cut the cake, I did also make a batch of brownies. So the brownies were easier to cut into squares and use to build with. So the layers that you see on the cake came from the brownies, because cake will fall apart. So the base is the cake, and then you see right here where it's like kind of stacked like blocks, those are just chocolate brownies. And so I just made the 9x13 thing of brownies, and I cut them. And you kind of can get creative here. That's part of Minecraft, is you can do different layers the way you want to, and that will fit your decorations. And once you kind of have your layers set up, then you would put the green frosting on top. You don't want to put it all around the sides, because you want the chocolate parts to show, because that's the dirt. So it's so easy and simple. You just go on the top, and then you can just sprinkle the coconut on top, which is also dyed green. So any mistakes that you make with your frosting are going to be hidden with the coconut. And I got these decorations from Amazon. So I did buy an actual toy set so that he could keep the toys and play with them after. And I got the paper decorations also from Amazon. And these little tiny candles, I think you can see the little yellow, and there's a couple red ones. Those I got from Amazon as well, and they are like Minecraft candles. So that actually adds a lot to the dimension and makes it a lot easier when you can add stuff. So I had cake pieces left over I didn't want to throw away. So I made square cupcakes, or semi-square, and I just put the rest of the frosting on top without coconut this time. And then I had these little square paper decorations, and you could make your own on the computer to put on the cupcakes. So my son had a great birthday. I'm so glad I got to share this with you, and I hope it's helpful if you decide that you want to try to make a cake. Don't be scared by it or intimidated, because it is a lot easier than it seems. So thank you guys for watching. Please click subscribe below if you haven't already. And also hit the notification bell if you want to receive notifications when I put up new videos. And I hope you all are doing well and you're happy, safe, and healthy. And I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye-bye.